What's going on, traders? I hope you guys enjoyed my video, of course, on the next potential financial crisis. We can talk about that, but I will let you guys know there will be a Twitter stream, Twitter space stream tomorrow to discuss a little bit more about that. But today we got to get right to the live trading action. It's already 9:15. We got to look at stocks. Let's get right to it, guys, and see what we can trade today.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
All right, traders, let's get it started. Let's go ahead. Let's bring on my man, Ryan Faloona, in the house. We'll take a look at some stock market action, and I see the love in the chat. Looks like you guys checked out the video, and for anybody that didn't check out the video, of course, I can post a link for you guys. It's only 13 minutes long. If you guys want to check it out a little bit later today, definitely check it out. I'll give you guys the link here, and I'll throw it up a little bit later today. Honestly, one of the hardest videos that I had to kind of edit. I took, like I'm telling you guys, I'm not joking, close to 20 hours on that video. So definitely give me guys the love and check it out whenever you get a chance. All right, let's get to the stock market action. I'm going to share my screens here and take a look at what stocks I can maybe trade today. And it was a little bit of a tough day yesterday. Just still seeing the chop out there, guys. So really, I can tell you guys right now, do I feel like I have an edge? Not really, guys. And I will let you guys know, I will stay away from the banks that I mentioned in the video and stay away from the banks today and probably for the next 2 weeks, just so that you guys don't feel like I'm cherry picking or trying to push a position. I have no position on these banks, but I will just mention I'm going to avoid them, even if they look good. We'll see what happens there. Today, I will be watching to see if the SPY can continue on the recent rally. Of course, we were oversold towards that 420 area. We'll see what happens in tech. Can tech continue holding up this rally? I mean, yesterday was led by a lot of NVIDIA action. Now NVIDIA leading the downside action here at 9 a.m. I don't know. I think it's going to be tougher than it was yesterday. Let's go ahead. Let's kick it to Ryan's outlook on the SPY, and we'll take a look at some of the smaller names, trying to get you guys ready for the open here. So let's kick it right to Ryan. What are you looking at, my friend?
Well, I was watching your video, Mitch, because that was very, very well done. I'm definitely watching the banks. I too don't own any, but I'm definitely watching them. Good job with the video. I've edited videos before. It takes longer than it seems.
Yeah.
So hats off to you. I think that was really, really well done.
Yeah, the green screen effects were pretty interesting. I tried to jump in there, a little zombie action. I know that I could. You guys couldn't see it, but
my favorite was the clown. I mean,
yeah. I was gonna tell the chat.
We are being led by a series of clowns in this country and around the world, and it is unfortunate, and that is without a doubt my favorite.
Yeah, one of the clips that I added there was the first time that the Fed ever admitted to printing money. They don't say, they say it's akin to printing money, but literally admitting it right to you. That how do they go ahead and support? They just print. Just let those printers go, man.
Keep that money printer going. Okay, so taking a look at the market here, first thing we're going to take a look at is going to be the SPY. We are continuing our bounce from the 500-day moving average. We'll see where this ends up dying off. Realistically, the 426 level is going to provide some pretty significant resistance. That's 3.5 points away. So we'll see if we even get there today. We do have a bunch of earnings on deck here. Let me go ahead and share that. So after the close today, it's going to be a very, very big day. Microsoft, Alphabet, Visa, Snap, probably your biggest ones. Maybe throw Texas Instruments in there. So we're going to watch some of these names here today. There might be plays leading into earnings. I know a lot of people, when tech is strong, they like to play tech into earnings. So this is what's on the docket here for today. Let me know in the chat if any of you folks take any of these plays. I'm definitely interested in that. Tomorrow morning, we get Boeing. So that will really be interesting. Will really be interesting. Easy for me to say. So going back to the SPY, we're right at the 200-day. We'll see if we end up selling off from here. I am still in the bearish camp. So I still think eventually we roll over, but we'll see where we end up going. Now, the other big thing to talk about before we get to some of these smaller names here is going to be the move in Bitcoin. Okay, so let me see if I can go ahead and load up a Bitcoin chart here and get us a daily chart. As you can see, Bitcoin really breaking out of this consolidation area that we've been in really since March. Right, we've been hanging around this 25 to 30K level since March. We're now breaking out of that. I would say next resistance here at about 37 and 40, going to be your two next upside targets here on Bitcoin. This is likely going to drive some of the other smaller names. We talk about Mara and Riot and BTBT all the time, so those might be in play here today with the move in Bitcoin. Now, a couple of other things to discuss. First one we're going to discuss is going to be INM. This is InMed Pharmaceuticals. This was a penny stock yesterday. We are absolutely ripping here today. We traded up in the after hours. We almost round tripped it. Huge move on huge volume here today. This is generally what we want to see. Hopefully that continues into the regular session. We're actually taking the next leg up here. So we pulled back towards VWAP, not quite to it. Took the next leg up. Let's see where we end up going when the market opens here. Did have a press release here. InMed Pharmaceuticals say that it's one of its drugs demonstrates unique pharmacological effects in Alzheimer's disease. So that is why you're getting the move that you're getting here. INM, India, November, Mike, on deck here today. Next is going to be LIAN. This is Lan Bio. This is I believe this is a Chinese company, but this popped as high as 4, came all the way back into 250. We're huddling right under the VWAP there. We'll see if we end up pushing ahead of that. PR here, Lan Bio enters into an agreement with Bristol Myers Squibb for mavacamten in China and other Asian markets. So anyway, the PR here is about them joining forces with Bristol Myers Squibb. And that is causing them to pop here today. So we'll see if LAIN gets going. ASTI, this is Ancient Solar, Ascent Solar. Did I just call it Ancient Solar? Geez, I'm sorry. This is Ascent Solar. We did pop as high as 220. Now we're really kind of bleeding back. We're actually a little bit more extended away from the VWAP from the first time when I looked at this. Yesterday, after hours, the U.S. Department of Energy encourages Ascent Solar to submit a full application for federal funding of one of its products. So Ascent Solar surges as the Department of Energy encourages a full application for federal funding. Remember, the Inflation Reduction Act, it doesn't actually reduce inflation at all. There's a whole ton of money bookmarked to some of these green type businesses. Solar definitely fits into that. Sounds like they're saying, hey, you better submit a full application because we've got money to give away. That's what this feels like. We'll see if that ends up materializing. But that's why ASTI is popped here today. Now, before we get into some of the Bitcoin names, one of the other stocks that I want to mention here today is going to be RTX. Someone in here mentioned this before. I feel like this was a stock that a number of people were talking about. I actually day traded this the other day. Wasn't bad. Really kind of wish I held on to it, right? Raytheon Technology shares are trading higher after the company reported better than expected Q3 financial results, updated guidance, and announced a $10 billion accelerated share repurchase program. The thing to note there is that buyback can start immediately. So likely to put a floor under RTX shares here. As you can see, RTX up almost 9%, just over 8.5% here this morning. Love what I'm seeing right now. Come back to the VWAP. Let's see if this gets going here. RTX, this should be plenty liquid. Big stock should not be necessarily prone to some of the shenanigans that the little stocks end up doing. So we'll see here. RTX, this looking pretty good here today. 13, I'm not surprised to hear this. Ryan, I've been buying RTX since August. 13, if I recall correctly, it was you who got me looking at RTX in the first place over the past year or two when we were discussing. I think we actually talked about RTX when the Russia-Ukraine conflict started. So we've been looking at RTX for a while. Buddy's going to jump in here and say hi. So anyway, RTX on deck here today. Congratulations, 13. You're probably going to be booking some profits right out of the open if you haven't already. Now, looking at some of the other names here, again, some of these Bitcoin names. These, I think, just trade the technicals on these, right? The Bitcoin is the underlying thing to why Bitcoin's really surging and really moving towards the highs. It's likely that these will move to it. But realistically, following the technicals on these should be the path for trading these. And that goes for all of them, right? Mara, Hut, Riot, even CleanSpark in some regard there. So a CleanSpark trading up here as well. So we got a number of different Bitcoin names here. In fact, there's a ton of them on this list. BITO, if you want to go the ETF route, you can do that here through BITO. I'm sorry that Mitch is not here right now. I would love to be able to tell him that Nikola is popping in the pre-market, but he's not here to enjoy that. I'll tell you this right now. I'm not even going to trade Nikola, not even at all. It's also, of course, worth mentioning Coin. I mentioned a whole bunch of other Bitcoin stocks, didn't mention Coin. This is probably the big one of the group. So we'll see where these go. I know PLTR I want to take a look at yesterday. There were a number of you folks that Kel, I think you mean INM. Yes, I mentioned that. I led with that. There were a number of you folks that were trading Palantir yesterday. Great bounce off the bottom here on Palantir. So great intraday trade. Looks like we're going higher here today. Be interesting to see where we stop and if we reverse at all. So Palantir, that was a great job yesterday by the group. Trading that one. We'll see where we end up going here today. I'm going to flip over to my main workspace here and take a look and see what's going on in the pre-market. Looks like Wolf trading higher. Maybe Wolf breaks out of the formation at 140 there. Verizon, this is a little bit higher. This is a good dividend play here on Verizon. So we'll see where that goes. Here's INM that Kel was asking about earlier. This looks like this is trying to take the next leg up here. 180 looks to be a spot that it's going to test here today. Okay, that's about all I got for you. It looks like Mitch is done as well. Let me know if you guys have any stocks that you want to go over. 13 mentioning, yes, RTX and LMT have been the ones we've talked about a lot since the war started. Exactly. So LMT, the other one on there. RTX, it's having its day here today. Dave, awesome stuff here. Still long Mara. Let's go ahead and bring Mara up. Still long Mara from 795. We're at 995, up 2 points there. On Mara. So awesome job. Be sure to pay yourself on the way up. I'm sure you already know that, Dave. You don't need me to tell you. Remember our Bitcoin conversation in happy hour? Yeah, we've had a bunch of them. I guess which one are you referring to? Trading at the May 2022 prices. I actually want to see if does it stop here and reverse, or do we actually take the next leg up here? 13. I want to say that 40K is going to be on deck if we can really kind of clear out this 35K level. So we'll see if we end up getting there. As far as Bitcoin goes, I mean, I might trade some of these stocks a little bit, but nothing's really changed on the Bitcoin front for me. I've owned it from I think my first buy, I spent like $350 buying an assortment of Bitcoin and Ethereum and Litecoin back when Bitcoin was 6K. Before the initial huge run, and I've never sold it. So with all of this back and forth volatility, I don't really care. I had a very small amount of money that I didn't mind losing in it. I've had it there for years, and it's up several 100%. So don't really care about where the price is going. Makes it very, very easy for me to hold. The other thing is I've set my computer up to mine Bitcoin, and I've been doing that for several years. I actually haven't been doing it over the past 6 months, but fired up my miner last night and let it run while we were watching the football game. So good stuff there with Bitcoin. My Bitcoin trade is not a trade. It's basically the hodl strategy. We've got a little bit and I'll hold it for a long time, see where it goes. If Kathy Wood is right and Bitcoin goes to 1 million, giddy up. If it doesn't, then I don't really have a whole bunch of my, I don't have a whole lot of my funds tied up in it. So no big deal. Okay, let me take a look here real quick.
Who's ready for the open?
We're talking about the last level that we cleared out, the summer supply zone being the area to get over, and boy, did we ever. Yes, sir. We sure did. Okay. Let's take a look. Anything else that you folks want to take a look at here?
What are you guys watching today? You guys think we get a down move in the market? Nvidia's sinking,
I'm kind of thinking that. I'm still in the camp that we roll back over, but you might have some positive trades based on some of the positive earnings here this morning, namely RTX. RTX probably my primary watch out of the gate here, Mitch.
Yeah.
See if that pulls back or if we get any type of bounce and go or gap and go or what have you. So looks like we actually came through the VWAP here. It'll be interesting to see if we reclaim that. All right, we are open.
Let's get to it. Let's see what we see right out the gates. I see Nvidia dropping fast down to 430s. It was at 432.50s just a second ago, and now down to 429. So definitely seeing that Nvidia get hit tells me right off the gates that we could see some downside action come in to tech. An interesting one that got a pop towards the end of the day yesterday was ARM. So take your eyes on ARM to see what happens. Look at Nvidia to see what happens. Those are my kind of leading stocks here. And of course, later this week, we will have a lot more earnings stocks coming in. And I think we got to keep our eyes open for those types of stocks. Stocks love to run into earnings, right? Will some of these stocks get the lift, especially the ones that are on the chart for like maybe tonight or tomorrow, right? Tonight, what do we get? We get Microsoft and Alphabet. So take your eyes on Google, Microsoft, see what happens there.
All right, RTX first move here is down. We'll see where this kind of stabilizes. Really spread right now, so fairly difficult to actually trade. See if we end up getting in one of these here. Try some of this and trade the pool, probably. Order out at 78.50. We'll see if that gets filled. It did, and immediately down. So we'll see if we bounce here on RTX. Nope, down more. I'm going to give this a little bit of run room here.
$428, definitely Nvidia getting hit hard there. StockS starting to move now up to 1240s now. Pulled back recently to 1226. That was a great opportunity if you guys were able to grab that. So we'll see what happens if we start seeing Microsoft really leak. Google still kind of just break even. We'll see if that comes back to the upside, but that could start fading, especially with the way the market looks.
Okay, good deal. All right, so RTX right back to that 78.50. We'll see where that goes. That's just shaking out some of those early cobwebs. We'll see where we go there. That one I'm not too worried about, at least for right now, just a starter position on it as well. ASTI, this looks like this is bouncing right back to the VWAP, so immediately closing that gap to the VWAP here on the first move out of the gate. ASTI, this is Ascent Solar.
All right, I'm looking at Google to see if it's a short here off the 139s. Done. We'll see what happens if I get short Google
here. You guys are mentioning TPST. Let's see what that looks like. TPST.
Choose where they go lower here. Setup is happening now. All right, now I'm going to look for that 139. If I can get 139 entrance or anything above 139, I'll get short here on Google. Orders out there. I'm getting 90s right now. Can I get it right above the 139s? No fill just yet, guys. Looking to get filled. Come on. Give me that fill.
Bitcoin holding its level.
Got it. Short Google.
Tech coming in here too, Mitch, along with that Google trade. Apple, Amazon both coming in. Netflix going to highs here.
All right, just added a little bit to the Google trade short. Got about 40 shares now, 139.09. All right, now I'm going to take a look at the Qs to see right there. There's the pop that I was kind of just making sure that we can get through. There's a pop right there, an attempt to break through the trend line. I'm going to look to see if this 5-minute closes below the trend line break and doesn't really close back above, let's say 458, 358.20s. That's the level that I'm looking for on the Qs, guys.
TPST holding that 5 level now.
So the battle's on right now at that 358.20s. It's hit it right now, the Qs. We turned around last time right around that area where we spiked up. We went to 358.26. Now we're at 358.30s. Going to look to see if the Qs pull back here, but we are getting a little bit of a spike. If I take my first hit here, anything above these highs, I'll get out.
See, coin moving higher here. Some of these Bitcoin names moving higher here. Bitcoin's still
Let's take a
within
look.
that range.
Are you looking at those right now? Because I
Look,
think that's definitely an interesting trade for sure. We were talking about it yesterday.
yeah, I am. So a number of these are actually appearing on the scanner here too. We've talked about several of them. BTBT Dave, obviously, still in Mara, I guess, like 2 points. 2 points ago, 790
There's the
something.
downside coming
on
in
Mara.
here. There's Google coming down now. Now I'll be looking to add on any move back above 139, but good hit here to start it off.
Ooh,
Q's
yikes.
back to the VWAP. That's what it is. It's a VWAP attempt here on the Qs.
Raytheon really coming in too after these earnings, looking like it's trying to give everything up. Man, stop on Raytheon might have to be like 76.50-ish. See if we get there. 76. Nasty move. I'm going to try not to react to the back and forth here on RTX because I still think that this is just the post earnings shakeout. We'll see though. This might be bad.
All right, just added a little bit to my short here. Going to look to see if this can start to come down here and then just set the established risk here. Anything above the 139.50s is going to get me out on the upside.
Apple bouncing, right. Amazon
Q's
bouncing.
Yeah. Q's trying to get back to the top.
Yep.
We'll see what happens on that. Also seeing Microsoft pretty weak here. Apple's pretty weak. It's red. Is Tesla green? Yeah, Tesla's the green one. So if you're looking for something that is green and trying to make an up move, Tesla looks interesting today, up there to 218.20s.
Tesla really needs to take out its pre-market highs there as well. I've got that at about 218.50-ish on those pre-market highs on Tesla.
Good outlook there, Ryan. I just showed that, and definitely I agree with you there.
Boom.
Let's see if it takes it out. All right, guys, looking around to see what's also showing up on my scanners. Of course, I see RTX, AT&T, Coke that reported today, Tesla, Palantir. What's up with Palantir? We still getting that up move?
Ryan, can you pull a seasonality tweet Ryan Dietrich put out yesterday? I can take a look for that.
I can tell you what it is.
Oh. Well, why didn't he just ask Mitch? Mitch has it ready. I'll be honest,
man.
though. I do love
Ryan. Knows.
Ryan Dietrich is awesome. And since I started doing this, I've been following him for a long time. His stats, his tweets are awesome. I look forward to that stuff all the time. Great mention here. Mitch, if you have it handy, definitely pull it. I'll take a look for it. I don't even know what Jay's referring to.
So what he's referring to is seasonality. Seasonality, the next couple of days this week is actually it's one of the strongest yearly outlooks, right? And so this week should, at least statistically wise, look like a bullish type of week. And if you look at the numbers, so of course, one thing though to mention, and I will say this, it's important also who gives these numbers, right? I love Ryan Dietrich, but he's a perma bull, right? And perma bulls, I kind of don't pay attention too much if they're mentioning too many bullish catalysts. This is why I try to also judge what they lean on the most, right? So I would say Ryan Dietrich is that kind of more perma bull. And so mentioning that, it's kind of like so-and-so, right? He is right. The numbers are there, right? And that's how quantitative sometimes can speak on a bullish outlook. He found it, right? So we'll see what happens, right?
So just to be clear, I went ahead and put the tweet in the chat here.
There you go.
He pulled this from Carson Investment Research Fact Set. It's basically showing that between October 20th and October 30th, you get really good returns on the S&P 500. So this is the 10-day return, average 10-day returns. And he's saying that this period that we're in here till the end of October is really bullish.
Yep, it's important to catch, right? And also it's important to follow those guys, right? There's a reason why I caught it, right? And Jay caught it too, right? There's a reason why, right? I think that's also important.
It's also worth noting here that the week period around Thanksgiving also bullish on this very same chart. And then if we look into December, I've got December 14th through December 26th really as being pretty bullish too. That would make sense given the Christmas holiday. Jay, great shout on this one.
Interesting chart is NVIDIA today. I think that's just interesting to see it kind of just hanging out here off the 430s. There's definitely some buyers stepping up at the 430s. We'll see if they get hit here.
RTX bouncing finally after that initial move down. That's what we wanted to see.
All right, so Microsoft and of course Google. Google stopped me out there, of course. Now starting to get up into the green. Microsoft also. Let's see if Apple goes green. If all those four are green, yeah, we could get this to really kind of continue to grind higher. So you're seeing Meta come back, Google come back, AVGO's green. Looking around. Now Microsoft is starting to get above the VWAP. That's starting to drive. Apple's just making its move above VWAP. That's why you have like a leader laggard style, right? Apple's actually lagging a little bit of the action today. Leading, I would say, is somewhere near, I would say Google. Google just made that move, right? And look at the strong move that Google just made. So I went for a little opening short off of this level. Glad I didn't fight it above the 139.55s, because look at that expansion move right there towards 140s. Now this could drive, because I mean, they do have earnings today, right? So a lot of people like to play these into earnings. I was wondering if they were going to dump it into the earnings, but as you guys can see, Google driving higher today. We'll look to see if Tesla can continue a little bit of a bounce. Also, if the market can stay green, then maybe Tesla can continue green here. Tesla's up there to 218.59s. I'll look for a pullback to 217s. Home Depot going down. Let's look at the sectors and industry. Technology leading, real estate behind that. Then you got healthcare. What's in the red? Industrials, energy, basic materials, just slightly green here. One area that I wanted to keep an eye on today is gold. I want to see how that performs today. GLD going up at the gates. Going to keep an eye on these moves. I think that gold could make another push higher after a recent pullback. Could look at
INM
the dust.
INM halted to the downside here at 180 on INM. So we hit a high of 208 and came back in on INM. No position there for me. Still waiting that one out. Honestly, this move back to the VWAP is probably what we need to set up for a long here. Smoke Tuna mentioning ASTI in the chat. Let's take a look at that. ASTI, good mention here, Smoke Tuna. ASTI, the first move out of the gate was a move back to VWAP. We got rejected at VWAP, but on the second attempt and the bigger expanding volume, this is going to be the key. We went through that VWAP here. Great shout here on this one, Smoke Tuna. Would have loved to have been there on that VWAP break. That was set up here by this volume.
Nice trade in Coinbase today of red to green action. So if you guys were able to nail that trade, shout out to you guys. Riot also yesterday, my outlook was top on the day, 1090s. It went to 1088. So not too bad, right? Continuing here now towards 1130s. So definitely that Bitcoin trade, probably one of the best trades of the day right now. Because why? It had that look in pre-market for bullish action, right? It had setups in to get into it and out the open, red to green moves. And you got that on like almost every single one. So if I had to say that which trade was probably the easiest way to trade this morning, was maybe not paying attention to the tech trade like I did there. Maybe paying attention to this Bitcoin trade. You guys might have been able to nail that right out the gates, and could be probably done for the day. I mean, that's not a bad move already in Mara and some of these names. How's the Clean Spark? Clean Spark just getting going. Can this get above the fives? Ooh, this makes me want to scalp, but you know, this scalping's not up my game. But it makes me want to scalp it maybe above this 5 move. Maybe try to get it on a little pullback to 490s, but just seems interesting. BZ going higher, Bito going higher, RTX finally kind of balancing out on this support.
Yep.
Just looking through names, guys. Soxal, we'll see if that kind of takes off here. I mean, it's going to be a little bit of a shaky day. I think so. You know, it's not going to just go one way. The Qs just put a huge wick in there towards 359. We'll look to see if it bounces and keeps going. I'm just keeping my eye on NVIDIA. If NVIDIA goes red, I want to catch that. Going to be patient here, guys, until like I think like at least 10 o'clock to take the next trade. So if you guys have stocks you guys want to check out, definitely throw it up in the chat. Jay says, I'm kind of pissed about I missed the Bitcoin trade when it helps gaps. What? I don't understand that. But he said that another bus will be coming. Yeah. We'll see when you can get after it, Jay. I'm with you. I had put like just probably too far of a retrace on Bitcoin. But hey, Can I really be upset? Nah.
This is exactly why I was talking about the way that I'm handling Bitcoin. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough as you or Jay to be able to catch some of these gaps and some of these larger moves. The move for me is to just buy and hold. So I did it with an amount that is not really important. And I'm in it for the long haul there. So that's kind of how I handled it. I noticed early on trying to trade the fluctuations in these, you really have to be quick. That's not my game. That's not where I excel.
Yeah, some of these stocks are already going red here. That's why I'm kind of keeping an eye on it. AMD going red, Nvidia going down to the red again, Meta in the red again. And so be careful out there. I feel like this is a mixed noise out there right now in the tech trade, at least.
So real quick here, Jay, just to kind of clarify that, he didn't mean to say help. He meant to say held. And it makes a lot more sense with that.
Yeah, that would help me. Sorry about that, Jay. I got confused.
Yeah, no, I was the same way. But once he said that, it made a lot more sense.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's not a bad way to approach it, right? I think in the long run, well, I think with cryptocurrency, you have to think about it like you think about the big boys, right? Do you want to own the big boys in the market? I think so too. And so I think in Bitcoin, you got to maybe try to own maybe the top 3 coins and see what happens there. It gives you a little bit of diversification, but still staying in the high quality names. But you have to know also how to approach it, right? And timing is everything with Bitcoin. You get it in the wrong spot, you're always looking for it to come back to your level. You get it in the right spot, you start to feel like you're in power, and the stock does moves like it does today, where the money does moves. The digital asset does moves like it does today. And you're like, man, keep pushing.
Real quick, INM is open and starting to show the formation of a curl on INM. So we'll see if that material, let me go ahead and throw this up here. I'll run through a couple of things. So INM open, didn't come back into the VWAP. We shall see. Real quick, Ryan saying, Ryan and Mitch, everything is telling me Bitcoin is a false flag. The halving isn't scheduled until April next year. It just seems a little too early for it to ramp up. Ryan, I think one of the things that's driving this ramp is we had talk about the Bitcoin ETF. I'll see if I can find that news. I think this was a BlackRock news headline or something like that. Let me go through it and find it so I'm not actually misquoting it. But then also on top of that, I think that some of the conflict around the world and the consistent money printing by all of the federal governments are forcing people to re-examine their position in Bitcoin. And I think that both of those things are kind of playing into it. Let me see if I can find that actual news story real quick.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. And Q's did an attempt to the downside, put a huge wick, and then now trying to get back above the 358. If this 5-minute candle closes above 358, I'll probably go long. Below 358, I'll probably short. And that's the hard part about the game right now. It feels like the market keeps showing both hands. So I'm looking at like SOXL here as it pulls back. Do I buy here off the 64s or do I go for SOXS? They're all both reversal patterns off the bottom. And I think that's interesting to take a look at, right? Very rare do you get a setup like this on SOXL. And then also look at SOXS. You see that bottoming on the 28s. So it's kind of interesting that they're both kind of very similar right now. Gold will be an outlook that I'll go for also if we start to see a lot of down action in. Dust is one stock that I want to maybe trade that was interesting yesterday. It's been setting up for a move above 1275, but I need to hold about 1240 pullbacks.
Real quick, so the for Bitcoin here, the upward momentum in Bitcoin also appears to be driven by the continued optimism surrounding a potential spot ETF. Grayscale submitted an S3 with the SEC, showing that it intends to list shares of its Grayscale Bitcoin Trust on the NYSE Arca and as part of the company's ongoing efforts to convert the trust into a Bitcoin ETF. That's what I was looking for earlier. Oh, the other thing here, you were mentioning like altcoins and some of the other coins real quick. My position on that is that I have pretty much just owned the best in breed. Mitch, I know that you were talking about that quite a bit. The one thing that I will say is if you're watching this move right now and the altcoins that you have are not participating, it might be time to look elsewhere. Because this is the type of move that's going to show you where some of that strength is versus where some of the pretenders are. So keep that in mind here. Real quick, RTX looking like it's trying to go green on my position here. This is why I really wanted to wait this bounce out. Let me go ahead and add this here and do this. Bang. All right. So bought right here, immediately met with a huge red candle. Now, normally on one of these smaller stocks, that would get me worried or perhaps even stop out of it. With RTX, given what's going on here, definitely thought that this was going to recover and go higher. So we kind of just waited it out. In all honesty, looking back now, should have definitely added here. But regardless, let's see if this goes higher here. Would love to see a push back to and through 80 on RTX.
This is going to be big, guys. NVIDIA made a down move there. The Q's making a down move attempt here, but it could just bounce off this 357.20s. Was that a fake to the upside? Could have been. And that's how the market we've been facing as of late. Where do you see that turnaround on the market today? 9:45. We talk about this all the time right here, of course, on live trading with Benzinga. So smash the like out there if you guys enjoy this stream. We talk about all the time how the Qs and the markets love to reverse around 15 minutes into the market. Look how this came in right there, 9:45, right on the dot. This candle closes, and then you get the hard downside pull in one candle. So let's see what happens now. Does this recover this big candle, or do we make another leg lower?
Jay Rice, you just know BlackRock is in bed with the SEC, tried to manipulate Bitcoin to buy on the cheap. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know how to necessarily take advantage of that, but yes, I definitely agree with that. BlackRock. INM. I know a lot of you guys are watching INM. INM tried to bounce, got as high as 195, it looks like, and totally reversed now. Watch out below. VWAP at 160 on INM.
Well, Ryan, I'm going to leave out of BlackRock. I think a couple of banks already hate me, so let me not get BlackRock on my side
Hey,
either.
man, look, ain't nobody putting a gun to your head to talk about any specific individual or company, so don't worry about that. If you don't want to go pissing off the wrong people, no problem.
Yeah, I
Mullen,
already
by the way,
pissed off enough money today.
For those of you that like trading the junky scams, Mullen here, big move, moving off that 23 cent up to 24 cent, 20% move here on this penny stock. You guys know me. There's no way I was taking this.
All right, let's see if the market wants to come up here, guys. If I do take a shot, guys, I'm looking at maybe trading a little bit of ARM if that really wants to get going. But, man, this is a tough trade, guys. The Qs come right back to the VWAP. And it's like, do we go back to 359? It's tough, man. These wicks, not easy to deal with, team. Normally, I don't see this type of action, guys, where like we can make that type of hard red candle and then come right back. Because the truth is that's a bearish engulfing candle, normally a bearish sign. But when you get this type of reaction, it completely wipes out all your knowledge of patterns. And this is the problem that I've been seeing with the trade lately, is that if you're going off of known strategies and known patterns, you might be struggling because the patterns aren't holding up. It makes a bearish engulfing candle, and it comes right back. Those types of things should not happen technically, at least from our knowledge techniques.
Ryan, stop on Mullen, a 2 cent move. I don't think I know what you mean. Oh, you were stopped out on the 2 cent move, right? Remove from 28 to 26. Yeah, like I said, this is why I don't even play these.
Mitch never gonna get a loan, says Buzz. Oh, at least I won't be getting it from some banks, right? But hey, I still got my own bank. I use Ally. I like Ally.
ASTI, good shout here. Crow and Smoked Tuna. ASTI looking like it's trying to break out of this formation here on ASTI.
Wouldn't you know it? We're coming back. Let's see what happens. Look at AMD today. It's interesting stock. That's just having a bunch of wick action right above the VWAP, but just staying here. So this is a pretty interesting chart here to determine what happens here. The 100 is below it, and that's where I think buyers are stepping up. Anything below 99.90s, I think there's some buyers stepping up here, but it's a bearish looking chart. Let's see if it all of a sudden ramps to the upside, or does it just do a takedown here? NVIDIA's coming back here to 431s. That's why I'm also keeping an eye on this AMD move. Be very similar to how we see maybe NVIDIA just make a rip to the upside. We'll see. Qs are just playing around right now. I got to be on the station. What are you looking at, my friend? I'm going to put you up.
I'm looking at ASTI here in Pro. It looking like it's looking. It's looking like it's trying to tap to and perhaps take it down. I'm also obviously still have one eye on RTX, which is now trying to build above its VWAP, which is exactly what we want to see. Did I listen to Mitch? I think Mish.
No, Mish Snyder.
I don't know. No, I didn't. I don't even know who you're referring to.
Market gauge analyst on pre-market prep this morning.
Oh no, I did not have pre-market prep on. I feel really bad about that. I get asked about this. Look, I get asked about this all of the time. Mitch, you are the last person that is in a position to shit talk me. You know how much I struggle being able to balance all of the crap that I have to do in the morning. Pre-market prep just does not fit into that, unfortunately. I wish it did. I used to. That's how I grew up, watching Dennis Dick on pre-market prep and Spencer Israel. I mean, come on now.
Come on now.
Oh, so Jay, tell me a little bit more about this. And maybe I'll have to go back and find that. She loves 3D names. DDD, SSYS. How's SSYS doing here today? Still in that 1160 handle. I was still just early on that buy. I'm more pissed about how early I was trying to play the takeover rumors. It just took a leg down right on me. That was frustrating. Still have it though. Still down on it. Hopefully that ends up materializing. By the way, folks, I am still in the toll. The second leg of the home builders swing short. I just opened up another one. All right, just opened up another swing short. So I'm still in this one. Remember, this is the second leg. This I'm playing with all profits. This could go to zero, and I still profited because the first move here was when this was in the 82s. We took the 80 put. We've sold and rolled that now to the 70 put. I still look for Toll Brothers to come in here. I'm still long this. But again, this is all done with profit. There's no possible way I can lose, even if this reverses on me. However, I did take another. Way to go, pro. Way to freak out on me. I did take another swing short here. Ticker is going to be DocuSign. I think DocuSign breaks lower here. This was actually something that was discussed yesterday in the happy hour. 13 knows. 13 knows. I'm going to highlight his pre-market prep comment, even though it has nothing to do with what I'm talking about, because he's aware. We had this discussion yesterday.
I just said maybe you're waking up late if you're not catching pre-market prep. But
hey, I like that. I like that. Hey. I'm up at 6. So sorry about that.
That might be late, man. That might be late.
Might be late. The early bird needs to get the worm. I might be a little bit late. Hey, look, I had probably $400 worth of parlay wins on the line last night. Okay. Yeah. I needed one more passing touchdown from Brock Purdy, and I needed a 49ers win on the money line, and I would have cashed like $400 off $20 bet worth of parlays. I was on point. And then Purdy throws a pick, and I just turned off the TV and went to bed. So yeah, I was a little bit late today. I'm sorry about that.
No worries, my friend. Football will do that to you. Just taking a little bit of a long here on AMD to see if the Qs can come right back to 359. If that does happen, I feel like there's some people buying up the 100s here. So I got a starter on. I want to add towards 110 and maybe below 100. We'll see what happens there. Here's the Qs. They're pushing. So I'm taking a little bit of a long here. AMD, let's see if it really starts getting moving. There's the Qs pushing higher. I'm going to probably just step up on any pullback below my entry here. I might not get the shot here. So I'm stepping up already, guys. It already going up here towards the 140s. There's a little bit of a push here now towards 100. I have an average price at 130 cents there. So let's see if this really starts to push. Going back to 358.50s.
Love when the rest of us were growing up watching Saturday morning cartoons, Ryan was watching pre-market prep, drinking apple juice and eating Go-Gurt. It makes perfect sense. I love apple juice, just straight up, just going to throw that out there. Apple juice is delicious. Learned from Alyssa here at the company that if you mix it with bubbly, you get a really, really sweet drink. Try that out, pro tip. But I've never had Go-Gurt in my life. And Ryan, I hate to let you down, but I watched so many Saturday morning cartoons. I am just like the rest of you folks. I watched a ton of Saturday morning cartoons before I went out and played hockey or hung out with my friends. So guilty.
Guilty until charged, baby. All right, we'll see what happens. AMD starting to make a nice little move here. The Qs, can they take out that wick here? And this is just how the market's been lately. It'll give you a big move up, and then it comes all the way back to the bottom. Wicks down below it, and then comes right back up. I'm telling you guys, this is hard to deal with. but that should help my AMD trade. We should see NVIDIA maybe make a rip to the upside. I'm looking at ARM to see if that rips. There's a nice little move on ARM. Remember I talked about how maybe trade ARM there. I was looking at it. It already made the move though. Look at that. Look at that spike there on ARM. That's interesting there. It's definitely moving, guys. Stocks L be the interesting move here now. I like Stocks L right here on this pullback. Can I get 66 or 65s here? I'll go long on Stocks L. Ooh, AMD just went from green to red real quick. The Qs, man, it's just chopping around here, but I still like this pullback here. Did you see how quick that went? I know you guys were watching my screen there. I was literally like seconds away from buying more. But I'm glad I did it because I would have added in that second at 150 versus at 120. Big difference, right? Adding below my entry right there, 10 cents, or above my entry, 20 cents. And it's literally like less than a millisecond there. You guys saw it. Let's see if the Qs can really take the high. The 359 is what I'm looking for it to take now. Qs are battling, man. It's all in the Qs here.
ASTI consolidating here. This could easily break down, though. Be careful. ASTI.
ASTI, the smaller names.
And watching RTX sell off from the VWAP there.
Okay, defensive name.
We'll see where that goes. If that sets a new low here, we'll cut it.
Qs still hanging in there, right? Let's see what happens here with the Qs move. See if they go higher. So I'm looking to see if the Qs can kind of push through the high and start making it back to yesterday's high where we went towards what? 358.44. Let's see if we take that out. Was it 358? No, that's 359, right? 359.26. That's the level to watch for on upside above 359. Apple's been one of the weaker names the last 5 or 6 days, so maybe it becomes the stronger name today, right? Jay, maybe the reverse psychology.
How many times have we seen that?
Netflix killing short. Yeah, they came out with some news today. I saw like some news out there. Let me see if I can catch it. I know.
Yeah, we're what, $1 higher than we were on that initial day that we popped after earnings, after it retraced $11 from that move.
Yeah, and remember what I said, Ryan, when you were talking about your short thesis there. I said I expect some decline and then eventually a rip higher.
Well, so that only took a couple of days for that.
Both trades, right? Both trades. You could have shorted it off the earnings and then eventually going long into the next drive. That's the way I saw it.
Let's see if RTX holds in here. Might be trapped in this one, Mitch.
Okay. Jay said he's looking for relative strength out there. We'll see what happens. The Q's coming right back down after 358.80s. Wouldn't you know it? They're like, you know what? Let's chop them up a little bit more. Let's pull it all the way back to the VWAP and see what happens. The chop session continues here live on Benzinga, baby. Smash the like.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
It's like the movie announcer voice can make anything cool. Trailer. Even what Mitch is saying.
The trailer coming to you. The QQQ. Will AMD get in the green? Ooh, look at NVIDIA pull right back down. ARM right back to the VWAP. That's a hard move there too, because it was like ripping to the upside, and look at that pull back to the VWAP. So we'll see what happens here, guys. Definitely a lot of movement here. Getting a hard downside action move here.
ASTI, big move down. Smoke Tuna, great call on that being weak. Alt, great call. Bex here. I know this is a penny play. Mullen and Alt seem to be the penny play du jour, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Great stuff there.
In a world where stocks chop daily.
This fall, one man tries to make some profit. That was such a late. It was such a late full screen. It distracted me, frankly.
All right. Let's see what happens here, team. We're definitely chopping around. I'm back above my entry here. In a second, if we go through 150, I'm going to add, and then from there, break even on the rest, no matter what. I'm looking for the ticking time bomb to go off, and now's the time. Let's see what happens here on AMD. Will the Qs go right back above the VWAP or below the low of the 5-minute candle, 357.55? A move to that, 357 like 50s. This is going to get stopped out anyways. And so we'll see what happens. The chop continues. Now, can we get to the green? The Qs. Susie Q. There is 140s, 150s. There's the nice little push higher. Now I'm going to go ahead and put out that 150 for the ad. And then if I do get that ad, the rest will be break even. So now looking for the pullback ad fill. There's the Qs bouncing off the VWAP. Now VWAP is, I have 358.03s. So like if this candle can close above 358s, we're still fine. Below that 358, I'd be a little bit concerned. There's the pullback fill. I got to go ahead up and set the stop here. I'm going to set it slightly below the 120.
I'm actually trying to add. I'm trying to add to RTX here at 77.50. It's currently at 77.61. So we'll see if I get that fill there. You can see right where the line is. Stop below low of day. INM halted.
See if we can get a good move back above 101. I can sell some there and then look for the rest after that. There's 170s.
Lynn saying we're sounding like CNBC out there. I feel your microaggression right now by saying that, and I'm offended.
Yeah, me too, man.
Of course
You're about to make me quit life, yo.
Yeah, of course I'm kidding and mocking, but
no,
I'm not actually offended. Mitch is like, no, I'm not
offended. Like, I am literally offended. Like, that's like calling me Kramer, yo. Come on. Want to piss me off? That's one way. Lynn said, not at all funny. I agree. Somebody slowed the market down. Yeah, take the finger off the brake button. Look at the Qs, man. Look at the chop.
Who hits a brake with their finger?
I don't know, man. Then maybe there's a pause button on their keyboard that I don't have.
A pause button.
A pause on the market. Look at the chop. Look at this thing, man. This is why we're trading choppy right here. This is it. Will we get through the 359 or back through 357.50s? Let's find out, team. The Qs is going to do it here. And what do we got here playing in? Up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2, up 3, down 3. Now you guys know why I don't want that to break that spot now, which would be that 357.55 spot here. Anything below that, I think this could go red. Of course, you guys choose your own levels, but let's see if this takes 359. I'll look to sell half of it at 101. $74s. Once it gets to 80s, I'm going to put out my 101 order. Q's right near that breakout spot. Let's see if we get that breakout above the 358.80s here. Just pulled back a little bit. Let's see. Come on. When you're going to get that 359 move, Q's, you're going to step up to the plate. You're going to swing. What's up? Tesla going higher, up 2.38%. Lynn, you seeing that move? Google going higher. Apple going red there to the downside at 172. We'll see if that recovers, but interesting to see Apple red, yet all the other stocks, at least the bigger boys, well Microsoft slightly red,
Rick,
0.06.
Rick, great call here. Yeah, a Crow, Crow and Rick Leon. So Leon here, if you go to my pro screen.
Gotcha. You're up, big dog.
Leon here, this was a nice move, but right back. I was a little slow on this one. This is a nice move right back to the VWAP there at a little bit of shakeout before again on the plan. So when we talk about strategy and how we're actually trading some of these little names, this is how I've made sense of it. It doesn't matter what it does. It doesn't matter what sector it does. When it has chart formations that are met with this type of expanding volume, this is my signal that there's something to trade. Now, sometimes it doesn't work, right? Sometimes these things knife, they come back, yada, yada, yada. This right here is what I'm looking for. We pushed up to the VWAP, bang, we had that volume flow in. You can look at this either on the chart, you can look at the time of sales and see the different orders hitting the tape. This is how you can determine that. We popped right through here. This is a great move, right? That VWAP was at 245, I believe. I think it's at 246 now because of the move. This is a 20-cent move right through there in less than 2 minutes. So awesome job for you folks playing LIAN here. I was a little slow. My setup is past. So even though this is still ripping, I'm not trying to jump in here and buy it because the setup that I have been looking for already materialized. Great job for any of you folks trading this one. Awesome stuff.
Qs went right to 359 and pulled back. They're like, you know what? We're not done with this movie of Chop. We got you.
$13 saying Roblox is gap filling.
Here you
Black
go, guys.
Monday
Starting
canceled yesterday. Black Tuesday also canceled. What's that?
Here you guys look at this, guys. Will this get back towards the 101s here, trying to take some profits into this move here, now into the 90s. Gonna go ahead and just put it out there at 91s. I can get out at 91. I don't mind. 10 cents off is not going to be an issue there. Let's see if I can break through the 190s, sell half of it, and then keep the rest. Come on. Be another little push there.
RTX, I was able to add at 77.50. Now we're trading back up here. So let's see if we can get back above 78. New average price on that RTX trade, 77.99. So still underwater here, but moving in the right direction. Let's see if we can go through that VWAP again.
Man, got so close to first profits. A little frustrated that I didn't get it yet, but I'm
Dave,
hanging on.
Long Apple here. Dave, trying to play the reversal here. Would love any more context on what the entry trigger was here. Dave trying to play Apple on a reversal tight stop here. Long at 172. We're currently at 172.08. So really bottom pick that there, Dave. Nice job. Hope that works out for you. Oh, I see. On Friday, everyone was calling for a market crash. Well, I'll first of all, I never called for a market crash, just to throw that out there. I did say I don't want to add new risk on for the weekend, and that might actually result in a sell-off. But now I understand what you mean. There was no market crash yesterday. There is no market crash here today. I got you.
Let's do this chop. All right, guys, I'm going to sell half of it there just to take some profits, limit the risk. So I just took some profits there, but man, it was just like not moving here. So now I'm just going to break even on the rest and go look for another trade on AMD. If it goes higher, let it go higher, and I'm going to look for a bigger breakout. But I just wanted to make sure at least I took some profits. We'll look for a move back above 101.50s for the full profit take. That'll be about like $80, $85 on the top side. I'm going to put it a little bit down there towards 82. So 101.46, I'll get all out. I put break even pretty much on the rest so that if I do get out, hey, so be it. The Qs just keep chopping around. If the Qs would have made a move there above the 359 going to 359.50s, I would have just kept this in and looked for the big reward. But look how this comes right back down, right? So this is the problem here. The Qs now chopping around. So it's pretty tough to trade when you're seeing this type of action, these types of bars.
Okay, back. Whew. What up, buddies? Not much, Tom. market actually is what's up today. How are you doing?
All right, guys. I will say that at least my video is doing great, guys. So feeling at least a little positive about that,
You
right?
should.
Yeah, almost 1,000 views already in less than like an hour live. That's not bad at all.
Jan, thanks for stopping by here today. Hopefully you have a great day. Take care of yourself. I love the discipline here on not letting your emotions take over.
Yeah, I love that. Definitely. That's the most important part. Know when the getting's good.
Dude, Jan is training for an ultra marathon. I had a heart attack just thinking about
What?
that. Wow.
It's pretty badass, man.
Yeah, it is.
Read some there you go. Come on. Get on up, Q's. Get up now.
ASTI flagging here again after that down move. So maybe if it clears out 175, a move to the upside on ASTI. I got VWAP at 179 on ASTI.
Nvidia went down there, and now Apple's trying to bottom out at 172. Microsoft's still red overall, just hanging out on VWAP. Did Tesla pull back to VWAP yet? No, that stayed pretty strong all morning. Nike having a decent day today. XRT finally starting to get a little bit of a lift.
Right. It says even I'm not crazy enough to do an ultra marathon. Man, I don't know how you guys do all that stuff. I really don't.
Guys, remember I've been talking about KSS. That's a nice move there to 2180s. Go to you, Ryan.
I was just going to say, Jay bringing up a really good point here. Google, Microsoft earnings tonight. In my opinion, they are priced for perfection. They had better beat, unlike some of these other earnings names like GE, 3M, RTX, SHW, et cetera, that were down quite a bit going in. So what Jay's basically saying here is that Microsoft and Google didn't necessarily have the haircut that some of these other stocks did. And as a result, they had better put up good earnings. You might see those names come in. Jay, I'd be curious to know, are you playing any of those for the binary event, or are you waiting for that binary event to pass before you play? I, for one, have no position on either of those names going into the print.
All right, guys, going to look for a deeper pullback for a swing trade setup on Ulta. So I like Ulta for a swing trade into the holiday season. I would probably get rid of it as I got further into the holiday season, but this is one that I'm keeping on watch. As you guys can see, AMD stopping me out, pretty much break even there. Lost about $2 on that trade. So we'll see what happens. You can see if I would have stayed in it, it would have stopped me out, break even on the rest. I'm getting out of that. It's just too choppy right now. Q's just chopping around.
ASTI, big breakdown out of that flag, moving lower here. ASTI in big trouble. LIAN, the opposite, though. Remember, on this push through the VWAP, now we've actually back tested this VWAP, and we're moving back up towards those highs. Excuse me. Let's see if LIAN can take out that high. I've got that high right to this candle, high at 268. Going to be your next spot here on LIAN. Looking ahead here, got 298. Yeah, 297, 298 as the next spot there. LIAN. Let's see if this can go. I'm going to reset this chart here. There we go.
Wouldn't you know it, guys? The Qs is looking like they could test to the downside here. That's why AMD could test also. We'll see what happens. Just chop, man.
Jay, not playing for the earnings print. And yes, you were very, you had announced all of those plays leading into Microsoft. So you have been playing Microsoft recently. You may sell some out of the money call spreads later today. Okay. Option sellers really been most of the winners on some of these earnings plays. RTX not looking good for me. If this rolls over and breaks down through 77, likely have to cut this one. In fact, I'm going to set a stop now just to make sure this doesn't get out of hand.
All right, traders, want to announce, of course, the big competition. It's coming to you guys starting just what? next week, of course. So sign up today, guys. Check it out. The pool contest, of course, is going to be starting on October 30th. I've already talked about what we're doing for Halloween, but I want you guys a part of it, battling with us. Who's going to take us on? Guys, fill out that form. Get the, of course, all you got to do is just hit join now right there, guys. And you guys will be able to test out, of course, and see my man Michael holding the trophy. I'm going to beat Michael this time for sure.
I can't wait to do this. Is Michael going to be part of this competition?
Yeah, he takes part.
Dude. Let's go.
I love a CEO that would take part in a trading competition, right? I don't know about you, Ryan. That shows me something, right? And then last time he got 10th place. I'll give you guys some insight. He got 10th place, and it just showed me that he was battling with the people that got the first place prize, right? So if you guys want to check it out, definitely check it out, guys.
Real quick, massive shout out here, Half Hitch Brewing. We've talked about these are some of the harder trades to do. Half Hitch Brewing saying breakdown, bounce, and peace out. Saying took another win on ASTI. So it looks like what you did here is on these knives, you're buying them. And then when you get this bounce back, you're just selling out of it, scalping it, taking your gains and moving on for the next trade. So we talk about on some of these small names, mention how it's better to buy the sell-off than to buy the actual upside break. Looks like you're actually doing that and doing it successfully. Nice trade here in ASTI. This breakdown out of the flag, that had me a little shook. The good news here is that this consolidation area, this sideways area in the pre-market, we went right to there and bounced. All right, right to there and bounced as opposed to breaking down further here. So we'll see where this goes. Great trade, Half Hitch.
Q's testing that downside break here. Let's see if they get to 357.50s. I'm thinking about taking success here to the long side, but I need to see the breakdown completely of the Q's here. That's a move to 357.50s here. But will we get more chop? That's the hard part here, right? Do you go in early and look for the move, or do you wait for the breakout or breakdown and then scalp? That's what I feel like has been working a little bit more, waiting for the move and scalping. But the problem is that's just not in my tool belt, really. I very rarely ever go for a scalp, but it seems like the better strategy right now.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. I prefer not to, but if I have to, I will. Really quickly here, LIAN, which we talked about, did go ahead and break through that top, did not quite get to that spot, and here is a big knife. Let's see if this gets back down to the VWAP. Remember the last time we got to VWAP, the stock bounced here. Let's see if it does the same thing. LIAN.
And the Q's just made
Apple
that
bouncing,
recover.
Apple bouncing. So Dave, looks like that you're doing all right there. I know you said you were just chopping around, but Apple currently bouncing right now. Bitcoin, interesting, the lowest of the morning here at 34K.
You're getting a pullback on those Bitcoin names. Just to give you an outlook, if you guys are looking for those pullbacks, you're getting it right now. So we'll see if those pullbacks actually hold. Are they VWAP bounces? One thing that a little bit concerning, Bitto really getting hit hard to the downside, but that's Riot and Coin and Mara look a little bit better. Cleveland Cliff taking off today, Ryan. They had earnings last night. That one's doing really well. That's not a stock that I trade too often, but look at that move. Not a bad move, right?
It's not a stock that I trade often, but it is one that I have traded in the past. Cleveland Cliffs, a really good company here. Nice move here today. A little bit of chop right around the open, but a nice little push higher away from that VWAP.
And then also Nucor reported today. Nucor, take a look at Nucor, of course, the leader in this space here. NUE, look at that. Boom. So that just goes to show you sometimes, right? I didn't expect to see steel strong, but hey, you know what I mean? The stocks determine what is really strong or not, right? And I think that one thing that we need to be doing is understanding our outlook and what price action's telling us.
Dave, out half Apple, looking to get out the rest of the VWAP. Nice trade there, Dave. Glad that worked out for you. Mitch, the market has never once asked me what it thinks I should do or what it thinks it should do. When it does, I'll let you know and I'll play it, but it's never asked me. It does its own thing. It's going to do what it's going to do. It doesn't give a damn about me.
That it is, man. The unfortunate thing is it doesn't ask, and that's the way it goes.
God, imagine if it did, though. By the way, CLF, breakout level there on 16, if we can get above 16, CLF. Who was trading Spotify earlier? That was another good move here. Spotify 155 yesterday, 170 prints here today. Actually got into the 172s earlier today. Someone was on that. Great job there.
Kill it, guys. Kill it. Got to be quick in this market, guys. Right now, guys, no lie, I'm just like this, guys. I'm like,
come on, brain. Think, brain. We're going to die. Last chance to get out of here. Hello, you working?
You working, brain? You awake? Let's go. All right, let's see what happens here in the Qs. The Qs coming right back to the upside breakout. Let's see what happens. I might scalp AMD this time around. I could really see the Qs take off here. Come on, Qs. Susie Q. Gonna make the move or not, man? It's the hard part right now. It's a lot of chop. Look at the 15-minute chart on the Qs, man. You don't see this often, guys. Look at this. Wicks to the top of the range, wicks to the bottom of the range. You think we're getting some chop?
More chop than a Benihana out there.
TJ, you looking for my video? I'll throw it up in the chat there for you guys. It might be that type of day where you might want to just check that out. So I'll give you guys the link there. Of course, you guys can check that out later. It's a 13-minute long video, so you guys can always check it out after the show.
ASTI breaking back down through the VWAP. Just another marvelous trade by just I'm looking now that I'm looking at it. Obviously, this is hindsight, but now that I'm looking at it, just a marvelous trade by Half Hitch Brewing there. VIX low a day. VIX sub 22. Boy, that thing went above 23 and got murked. VIX below 20 now. Boards, that's a lot of chop. You've been to a Benihana recently, haven't you?
359 attempt coming here, but still not getting it, man. The SPY and the Qs are just chopping all around. The SPY looks a little bit better, but man, can't get the move here. What are you going to do, Qs? It'd be crazy if it did this the whole day. I would be so pissed, yo. If it just went up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down between like what? Like a dollar range? Even Arnold doesn't want you to get to this chopper. Get to the chopper. Q's trying and trying, just don't get the real lift. Man, it's stressing because it just doesn't want to move. Look, it's right on the brink of breaking out.
LIAN new highs.
Back. All right, guys, we'll see what happens here if the Qs want to make the move. But as you guys can see, nothing, at least that I can see, that's moving on this. So I'm just watching moves, looking around to see what's strong today. The cybersecurity stocks have been a decent trade as of late. Zscaler, Datadog, PanW, names like that. Pretty interesting. Netflix has pulled back to this 412.50 spot. Does it bounce from here and then come right back up? If the Qs can go towards that breakout, I'll take the Netflix trade, but I'll show you guys that right now. I'm just trying to be quick with it, but the Qs need to move, man. This is just, it's not fun when it trades like this, guys. I'll just be as honest as I can. Trading's not fun when it's just chopping around like that. Chinese stocks are up significantly. Good names to look at. I saw PDD up a pretty good amount. JD and PDD, two stocks leading the Qs today. JD's up 4.06%. PDD's up 3.27%.
Sorry, looking around here.
Oh, I'm seeing Intel go higher, Monster going higher, Melly going higher. What will happen to the Qs? There it goes to 359, but not a complete breakout. It's just kind of like this little bar up to 359.25s.
LIAN going for that 3 mark now. Look at this move, man. And that second pull, same as the first, same story as the first. We yanked back down, did not quite get to VWAP, and then started to push away. This one a little bit harder. Volume's not really expanding until right now, right through 3 there on that volume candle. Oh, LIAN, big move here.
All right, guys, just took a little trade there on Netflix. We'll see what happens. I'm going to risk about, let's do about $35 here towards the 411.60s here.
What are you doing?
I'm long on Netflix.
Oh, here we go.
And it's just because the Qs broke to the upside. If they come back to VWAP, though, this trade's going to get screwed.
LIAN 310 now as that continues to move.
Look at the Qs, right? We made that attempt move, but can we continue with this trend? We'll see. AMD still didn't make it to that 101. Going back to Netflix.
So we got Mitch long, we got Dave short, and we got Jay telling you that the ad was yesterday. And the ad was yesterday, by the way. That broke 400 yesterday. I believe that was 399 at one point. $13 saying don't hold Chinese stocks if you value your capital. And if you don't value your capital, you can Venmo it to me. That's a joke, by the way. Caleb short Palantir at 17. We talked about Palantir here this morning. What kind of move is that putting? Boy, it would be great if I could actually type tickers in correctly here, Mitch. I'll tell you what. This is unbelievable. So Palantir doing Palantir doing similarly. I can't even say it. Palantir doing what it did yesterday. Very, very. Jesus Christ, Mitch. It's been a rough morning for me. Palantir yesterday made a big sell-off and a big bounce. Today, just kind of a mini sell-off, but a nice little bounce and a back test of the VWAP here. Caleb, you're long here. What's the trigger? Is there a daily level here? I mean, it's up 4% here today. I guess maybe you're kind of recovering this. Maybe you're looking for 18 plus here, maybe even 20. Dave, I'm in the same boat that you are. I think Netflix goes back down.
Man,
the market has me talking like Porky. Boy, that can't be good. I mean, it's just that's got to be coffee. That's all, folks. Yeah, okay, that's pretty good. I'll work on that impression. I'll work on that.
That's all, folks. He knows it. Maximus knows it. That's all, folks.
Oh, ASTI, big breakdown here. That was probably done for the day. Half Hitch, let me know if you're buying this one. This plunge doesn't look as quick. Here, let me actually go to it. I can go to it. I mean,
got you. You're
I'm
up.
sitting here looking at a different chart. Okay, ASTI. So if we go back to the 1 minute chart, remember this one here, this plunge was quick. This is more of a sustained breakdown, so much harder to actually play this. Now, interestingly enough, it does look like we're trying to bounce at the same level. So let's see if this holds or if this falls out. For me, I'm not in this. I'm not trading this. I'm not looking to trade this.
All right, guys, just added on my Netflix trade. So I got hit filled there at 413. Is going to look to see if this goes higher, but just got to keep a close eye on it now.
Let me go back here. I'm interested. So Lance, so this was on the list here from this morning. This is the stack du jour, if you will. Look at the volume on this name. This is continuing to expand too. This is looking good here. What are some stats? This stock normal. Oh my God. This stock normally trades 197 shares of volume. That's its 100-day average, by the way. 37 million today, Mitch. That is a record volume day. On average, trades 200K, but today, 37 million. LIAN. Just an absolute monster. Looking at this, we're definitely going to see more up and down moves, but if this volume continues to do what it's doing, this might not even be done here today. Something to keep in mind.
Yeah, I'd like for a quick wipe out the 275s on that name.
Yeah, Leon, definitely. I mean, I'm, we're working a red trade here. Let's hope RTX breaks through the VWAP and goes back up. Let's take a look at this here real quick. We got this one up. So here you go. You can see stop below low of day, but really what we're looking for here is a move through this VWAP and a move back up. We're doing long 200 shares here, so would really love to get a move to 80. That'd make it a pretty good day in this trade. But this is what we're waiting for on Raytheon. We'll see if we end up getting this.
All right, guys, just added a little bit more, trying to keep pushing into this Netflix and see if the Qs can stay above 359. And wouldn't you know it, here's the down attempt. See if the Qs can stay up there.
LIAN new highs. Good Lord.
Spread is what's hurting me here. Got 55 shares here of Netflix. I'm going to hold about $1 risk here towards 411.86. It's an estimate because of the spread.
So you're long, right? Yeah, Dave's short. Okay, so that's the battle. We got Dave versus Mitch.
I just want somebody to win, baby.
Well, we're in pretty good shape if one of you is on each side of it.
No, don't always say that though, because I've seen it where it could stop us both. So that's the key.
Dave's saying, I think bull trap on Netflix today.
We'll see, right? Q's going higher. That's why I'm playing it. It's more necessarily what's going on in the index on why I'm playing it. But let's see what happens.
RTX through that VWAP. Let's get a push here on RTX. Great that we're through the VWAP, but let's push. Let's go farther.
Q's trying to make another step up here to 359.50s. That should help out the trade, but we'll see if it finally bottoms out here. There's 359.47s, 359.50s. There we go. Should start seeing this turn around. Let's see if this really can make a move back above 413s. Then I can set the stop at 412 and then just walk away. See if it goes into the green. We'll see what happens there. Doesn't look too bad here. Did Ulta pull back enough for the swing? Nah, it didn't pull back enough. It's staying strong. And I like that name right now, especially on a swing trade approach. But look at that, staying strong. I can't even come after that right there. I'd have to jump up towards 382. But I kind of like this, especially on the daily chart now. We'll see what happens on Ulta. Ulta Beauty, where a lot of people, and if you don't know, probably your girlfriends or wives are going to be asking for you soon to buy them stuff. And where do you buy a lot of stuff? At Ulta.
What happens if you don't have a girlfriend or wife? Do you still go to Ulta in the attempts to try to
You don't.
secure a girlfriend or wife?
Well, you could go get a nice cologne there. I will give you that. They have really nice colognes there. That's where
Okay.
I get my cologne.
Okay.
And so I go there to get the high quality cologne, but hey,
I have a hack. You ready for this? First of all, I have a cologne problem. Okay.
okay.
I'll take a picture of my cologne rack in my closet. I have a lot of them. It's a problem, but it's a good problem. Smelling good is a good problem. Here's my hack. If you like perfume and cologne, or if you have a significant other out there that likes those and you need gift ideas, fragrancenet.com. In fact, let me make sure it is .com. Yes, fragrancenet.com. You can get really, really good prices on any cologne or perfume.
I see that.
Dude, let me tell you. And here's the other pro tip.
Is it real?
Yes. And wait until you get one of the coupons that's over 30% off.
Right here, like right now, I'm about to buy my favorite one again.
I actually have Mont Blanc Legend, and I have
my
Legends.
boy Ryan. Yeah, that's the one, guys. That's the one. I'll tell you guys right now, guys. This is my favorite. This is my favorite right now. This is my go-to. Mont Blanc, the Legend one. It's a little older, but man, it smells fire. Oh, Netflix. Don't stop me out, Netflix.
Okay, we got a couple of
hang on
things.
here.
We got a couple of things to address here, Mitch. First of all, can you make me full screen? And if
I
you have a
got
trade,
Let me just set a
shout
stop. Let me just set a stop.
it. You set a stop.
Yeah, because we're having too much fun here, and I'd rather have
We're having
fun.
fun. We're about to run out of time. We're having fun, and I have to address a couple of questions.
All right,
here.
let's do it.
So first of all, Becca, are they all from Costco? No. In fact, I don't know if I have any from Costco because Fragrance Net's deals are so killer. Here is the Mont Blanc Legend that you're talking about. Another pro tip, only buy the 3.4 ounce bottle because inevitably you'll buy the smaller bottle, then you'll end up really liking the scent, and then it will finish and you won't have any more. Just buy the 3.5 ounce bottle. That's the way to go. All right. But shout out, Mitch, if you like this one for the summer, you might want to try Mont Blanc Legend Spirit. A little bit lighter of a fragrance, but still has that Mont Blanc goodness to it. I use both of them because I like to say I'm a connoisseur.
Hey, you keep rocking those. Watch out, man. Watch out. The lady's coming after you, Ryan.
Hey, look, I'll just say this. I don't necessarily have a problem. Let's just put it that way. I have a problem with cologne.
Of course, Netflix came for the good old stop out and then probably going to rip higher. So that's why I remember when I said earlier, Ryan, that maybe we both lose in this situation. It might be, but we'll find out, guys. I got out of that Netflix. I'm down 88. I've lost twice. I've won once. Not really seeing a bunch of chop in the market. I'm done for the day, but that doesn't mean that you need to be. Like always, what do? You look at how things are going, how things are flowing. How are you seeing the market? Are you seeing it better than I am? That's an important outlook, right? Catch it. Are you in the zone? We talk about this with Mark Douglas's book, Trading in the Zone, on the book club. That was the first book that we did on the book club. So definitely, guys, are you in the zone? Ask that question. And if you are, then yeah, you can keep pushing. But sometimes we're going to notice what? We're out of the zone and we're not in the zone. And that means that we might want to take it easy, right? Right now, I'm not in the zone. I'm not seeing things perfectly. So I'm going to take it easy.
Yeah, I'm with there, not in the zone. I'm actually being tilted here by our chat because they, for whatever reason, their eyes don't really work. How on earth are you going to try to tell me that these two bottles are Old Spice? They literally have the Mont Blanc star and the branding on it. Like, how are you going to say that this is Old Spice?
Oh, no, I think they're trying to mess with you, bro.
Yeah, you better check yourself before you riggedy wreck yourself. That's what I mean. Good
Old
Lord.
Spice, man. Come on, man.
I mean, that's for deodorant. That's not cologne. I would have said deodorant.
You be smelling like a Chewbacca out here.
Oh, we're having way too much fun here today now.
Hey, it's what we're good at, man.
That's true.
That's definitely what we do. Like, we'll see what else is out there. Who remembers the cool water? I remember the cool water, Marty. I used to rock that. That's not a bad one. Nice little easy one. But yeah, I mean, that's why you could go to Ulta. So just to kind of put that perspective, you could buy it there. You might pay full price other than Ryan's discounted price, but just to mention that. And that's the thing that Ulta does, is that everything is pretty much full price. So what does that mean? Full margins. So they're able to make their margins on high-end like makeup, high-end colognes, perfumes. There's so much there. And of course, a lot of people will be buying makeup for the holiday season, right? So we'll see what happens.
Look, I'm guilty, by the way. I will likely be making a fragrance net purchase or two this holiday season. Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there.
There's nothing like your best cologne running out. Like you go immediately. Like you're like, dude.
The experience, the seasoned veterans of scent, they don't let them run out. You have something on standby so that it doesn't run out. So that when you take your last pump from that bottle, you say, oh, and you open a new one and finish. Just saying.
All right. Well, the cues are just, of course, taking that slow little road today. So we're going to wrap up with that. It's 10:45. We're going to bring you guys over to the next show. That's, of course, going to be Benzinga Live. But I do want to give you guys a chance to go watch the video before Benzinga Live starts, right? So of course, this video is going to redirect you to Benzinga Live, but I want to give you guys the link of course, my video today. If you guys didn't catch the regional bank talk and talks about the commercial real estate bubble about to burst, well, you might want to take a look at this. Did a lot of research into this, include a background, outlook, statistics, great clips. As you guys heard from the beginning, definitely Ryan loved the clown clip.
It was without a doubt my favorite part of the whole thing. Like as soon as I saw the clown talking over the clown that was also talking, I was like, this is great. This is great.
Yeah, man. Let's just say that sometimes the feds can seem like clowns, at least, to say the least. But if you guys want to check it out, throw up the link here in the chat for you guys to take a look at it. What are you catching in the chat there? Some good comments?
No, Half Hitch is saying, take care, gents. Everyone enjoy the rest of your day. You too, Half Hitch Bruin. Take care of yourself.
Definitely. And like always, guys, please join the competition. I want you guys competing with us. And the big part for me is not necessarily you guys so much kind of maybe beating Ryan and I, but beating everyone. I want someone here to win the competition. So throwing up the rule, the pool competition one last time here before we get out of here, guys, at 10:50. You know what? We'll wrap up at 10:47 in just about a minute here so that you guys have 13 minutes to go watch the video and then get over to Benzinga Live. It literally will be boom, boom, and you guys can just keep your day going. But I want you guys to go ahead and check it out.
Shout out to Johan here, who's structuring his comments to be on point with the relevant discussion of the chat. Smell you later, he says. Johan, this might have been one of my favorites today. Take care of yourself. We'll see you tomorrow.
Smell you later, guys.
Take care of yourself,
check 13. It was great having you, Ryan. Have a good one, my friend. Have a good rest of your day, guys. We're going to wrap it up. Definitely smash the like out there and take a look to see what happens, of course, in the market and what happened in the commercial real estate market that I'm starting to expose. So check it out, guys. I'll throw the link up one last time for you guys to get over to that. This will redirect you over to Benzinga Live. But if you want to see that video, there's the link one last time. See you next time, team. Smash the like. Keep working out there. And like always, keep battling, traders. I know the market's not easy, but we're here to help you along the way. That's what Benzinga is all about, guys.